Tanner Faust, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. How about yourself, Clay? I haven't seen you in a little bit.
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been... I don't even know. Do you?
I think it was Abby Ingelston's graduation party.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the last time I saw you.
So about a year and a half?
Yeah, I'd say so.
What have you been doing in between then?
Well, I became an independent grown adult. I'm living on my own. Got a new car. $20,000 in debt with that little bad boy. Paying for it all by myself. Insurance. I don't have anybody else helping me. Being an adult's kind of scary.
Yeah, what's it like being on your own?
It's pretty cool. There's a sense of accomplishment. It's pretty. I'm kind of proud of where I am right now. I've worked really hard to get there, but man, it sucks.
Yeah. Just being, not having like a support structure like you're used to, it probably takes a while to get adjusted to.
A little bit. I first started out having 2 roommates, and it was a little bit easier, really, really cheap rent, bills like that. But that didn't really work out, so I went out on my own. And it wasn't too much different with like money-wise, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So you're living in apartment or house or which?
Apartment.
Yeah. Okay. And are you working right now?
Yeah, I work at McLean's. Have you heard about?
Oh, distribution center.
Yeah. I work in the cigarette industry.
Really?
It goes against all my morals, but
I didn't
the
know
money's good.
So they produce cigarettes there? Or,
they don't
or just
produce
distribute them?
Yeah, they distribute them.
Okay.
They get them all processed for like places that like make the orders, and we wear like a little Pit Boy computer thing, and we go around and put like quantities into like the totes we scan, and then when we're done, push them on a line. They go down. We scan another one.
I wasn't sure they did that there. Is that the main thing, or do they have other stuff there as well?
It's not the main thing, but it's the most lucrative with money. It's not anybody can just go up into like my department. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, there's probably high theft in that department.
Oh no, it's impossible.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there would be if it wasn't as
locked dude.
Down.
Oh yeah. What was I gonna say about that? Like an average carton of cigarettes is about $60, $75. I always go with like 60. The amount of like cigarettes I touch every week or every day alone is tens of thousands of dollars. I'd say in a month I touch maybe $1 million worth of cigarettes. Like on a good day, it's a lot of it is Newport Box 100s.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good gig. Almost 16.
Said it goes against your morals though?
Oh yeah, I hate smoking. I hate tobacco.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, in high school, a lot of my friends like smoked or dipped and all that stuff, and I wasn't really for it. I was just there, cruising around, there for the jokes, but I didn't participate in all their shenanigans and hootenannies.
Yeah. That's an industry that's pretty under attack right now.
Oh yeah.
But it's one that it'll probably never go away.
It might definitely shrink, but it'll never go away for sure. But yeah, I don't think I can be there for that long. Job security is looking a little timid. All these anti-smoking ads, and then like vapes are taking over the market, so like teens are getting into that more. And
there's a big pushback against that though right now.
I saw
they had to pull some off the shelves of like gas stations and such.
Like Juuls. Yeah.
See, I don't get that one either. They say they're marketing to kids because of flavored.
Yeah, there's the bill. Like they want to get rid of Juuls, flavored cigarettes, I think,
like menthols.
Menthols.
Stuff. Yeah.
And if they ban menthols, you know how freaking like crazy everybody would go.
I know.
Like.
That's a huge industry.
Oh, yeah. Menthols are very, very popular.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff that they can just go after an industry like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, how are they marketing to kids? Just flavors. Maybe they are. I don't know. I like, when I'm at work and I'm picking up cartons, like I'm looking at the boxes, it's like, oh, man, this box was kind of cool. I could smoke these. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, they do make it look kind of cool, but I don't know that it's them specifically. I don't see many ads anymore. They've been cut down quite a bit.
Because there's a lot of laws against it. Cigarettes can't put advertisement on TVs anymore. And like they put warnings on like all advertisements, like
dog, studio dog.
Come on now.
Yeah, it's always the old movies though that get you. There's always like those.
Oh, and the old
movies,
like,
they're all smoking the whole time.
And then like old cartoons, cool. Like the Flintstones, and then the Flintstone commercials that would advertise whatever cigarette. I don't know if it'd be Camels or Marlboros or whatever they were.
Yeah. Yep. So what about in your free time? You got any hobbies you've picked up?
Well, when I get off work, I just go home, watch YouTube.
Yeah.
That's
What's
about
the normal? What do you watch on YouTube?
I like to watch a bunch of like commentary, social commentary, or like satire channels. My favorite right now is Monkey Jones TV. He got famous doing like satirical like anime reviews. So like he would review like Cory in the House.
Oh, okay.
But act like
that was
it's
a Disney
an anime
show, right?
Yeah. Or just like he would do some like he's done one on like on the Bible, the Quran, Torah, acting like it's an anime. It has like this whole script. I think it's hilarious, but if somebody's religious, they might not really like it. But
yeah, might have to check those out. I've never gotten into that.
Oh yeah, he does a bunch of other stuff. He made like a short film, Monkey Jones Stops a School Shooting.
Really?
He was actually teamed up, or there's a dude making a GoFundMe for a project, and it's Cool Cat Productions or Films. He makes a bunch of like little films, like Cool Cat, Stranger Danger, something like that, something for kids to watch. And he was gonna make a school shooter one to teach kids like what they should do during a school shooting. And he reached out to him, was like, "Hey man, I will have all my subscribers donate to your GoFundMe, but I get to be the school shooter in the film."
Really?
And that fell apart. The dude tried to change like what the movie was about, so the dude had all his subscribers pull the money away. Mm-hmm. So he made his own.
And so that one was supposed to be serious, right?
It was going to be more serious, yeah. Yeah, but then Mumkey, he made one like completely satire and comedy.
Yeah. I think satire certainly has its place. As much as, I don't know, it seems like people really just take themselves too seriously.
Oh, dude, I take
knocked down a little bit.
I take myself too seriously sometimes.
Well, that's fine, but you're not in the public eye, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of these politicians and celebrities, they kind of need a little bit of satire to put them in their place.
I don't like Donald Trump, but I think he's funny. I like him being president. He's a meme, all right? There's plenty of jokes to go around.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's crazy just to think like that he's actually the president. Some of the things that have been said and done.
Oh, dude.
They're just comical.
Like, I'll sit there and I'll realize, like, whoa, Donald Trump's president? Mm-hmm. Like, he's not a politician. He's a... What would you classify? He's not really a celebrity. Like, yeah, he's famous.
I guess.
Businessman. I don't know. Pseudo-celebrity, I guess.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It hasn't all fallen apart either.
Surprisingly. I mean, I don't care either way. I think humanity's going to end in like 80 years. But let's have fun along the way. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Wait, hold on. What did you just say? You think the world's going to end in 80 years?
Yeah, I think humanity's going to end in like 80 years. Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't see a majority of countries changing fuels to more greener, cleaner energies. I think we're still gonna like pump our atmosphere full of pollution. We're all gonna slowly suffocate or something like that.
So you think that'll cause the end of the world?
It's really gonna bring down the overall quality of life, I think. Unless we make like giant like dome bubbles with.
See, we kind of talked about this actually on the last one, but I don't know that we had our facts straight. But I don't know. In my opinion, I'd take a little more positive spin. I think that we'll probably come up with something to solve a lot of those problems.
Oh, dude, I'm a pessimist. I don't have faith in humanity. I've seen too many things, just like people just being not nice and they're too selfish. But I can understand it. If I had like $1 billion, I wouldn't want to pay taxes either. I'd want to keep everything for myself. You know, people in power, they want to keep it, and I understand that. But hey, it's not good for us.
Yeah, that's a tough thing too. I think a lot of the people that have money or power try to do the right thing, but yeah, there are just as many that are greedy or power hungry and
Yeah. Like, what's his name? Bill Gates. Like, he donates a lot of money to organizations and charities all the time. And I don't think anybody, like, really appreciates that or, like, really notices it because he's so rich.
It's so much, yeah.
It's such a minute amount of money to him, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you could give more, but, like, $100 million. Like, who else is going to give $100 million to whatever charity?
Right.
I mean, it's still a little bit of something.
Yeah, and it's almost like you begin to question the motives, but really it doesn't matter.
Is it for publicity? But, I mean, $100 million, I think that's a little bit more than publicity. I think that's a little bit of, like, a little thing in the heart. Mm-hmm. A little do-good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at that point, when you have that, you can continue to focus on your business, but if you already have people down there running that, you might as well. I mean, you have that much disposable income. You have the time. You can really set your mind on whatever you want.
Yeah.
And start to go at it. I don't know. That's an interesting place. I bet never before in human history has anyone really had that much freedom of, having the resources to do it and the time.
The only person in the past I can really think of in like modern history would be like Rockefeller. Was it Rockefeller? He had the steel foundries in Pennsylvania. He was like the richest man in the world, I think, for a little bit.
Well, him and Carnegie went at it.
Yeah, Carnegie too.
Yeah. Oh. Those two went back and forth for the...
That on the coaster. Ooh, don't want to leave a little ring. That'd be rude of me.
It's also crazy to think probably not even the richest people in the United States are probably more wealthy than like some kings were back in the day.
It all depends on...
Not relatively. But if you look at, just the general comforts, the general ease they have, access to good food, good water.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, if you compare it to like the Middle Ages where peasants are eating like moldy bread, I think the kings have a little bit more of a lavish lifestyle compared to billionaires now because we all have access to like fresh lettuce and tomato. We don't have to eat rotten stale bread.
Well, that's the thing about humans too, is like it's hard for us to be grateful with just what we have. We're always relatively comparing our wealth or whatever we have. You could be, if you're living in America, you're the 1% basically, and you're still looking over at someone else next to you, your neighbor making $20,000 more a year. Like, in the grand scheme of things, does that really matter that much? But
I wouldn't really think so. No,
right.
But
that's stuff that gets some people spun out.
Yeah, people are. I don't know, like, I'm all about capitalism, but some people take it a little bit too far where, like, material possessions mean, like, the world to them. Like, all these people, like, spending $400, like, on, like, a white t-shirt made by, like, what, Yeezy or Gucci? And it's like, with $400, I could, like, I don't know, buy some stock.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit more useful.
I mean, branding is just insane.
I
know. You're saying. I don't know. It's pretty awesome, the things that some marketers can do.
I mean, if you can sell a pair of socks for $30, just 2 socks, hey, man, if you're making money, good for you. But the person buying is probably really stupid.
Yeah, but it's their choice, too. I mean, that's kind of that is capitalism. So anyone that can complain about it, well, they're contributing to it.
Yeah.
So you vote with every purchase that you make. What company you want to perform well and which one you'd rather not see perform well.
I'd like Apple a little bit more if they didn't take away the audio jack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have so many different things like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm an Android guy.
Yeah, you and your poor camera quality.
Oh, Samsung's getting better.
Oh,
It's getting better.
I never liked Samsung or Android. I don't really like any other smartphone platform. Apple is just really comfortable. It's nice.
Well, that's one thing I will say. Their ease of access, like just the feel to it is very nice.
Yeah.
I've always thought that, but they're such a hassle. They make you go through them for everything. It's a completely closed system.
Yeah. I remember I was working at Great Scott, and I was about to leave, and this old lady, she's like in her 80s. She's like, I'm trying to call home, and I can't figure out how to use my phone. You know how to use a smartphone? It's like, oh yeah, I know how to use a smartphone. It wasn't an iPhone. And I was like, oh my God, where's your contact list? I don't see like anything to like call anybody. Like
Right.
This old woman's stuck in a grocery store, can't call her husband back at home for whatever reason. I felt really bad, so I'd like wave somebody else down. It's like, hey, you know how to use a
Android.
I don't know if it was an Android. I don't know what it was, but I felt bad for that old lady. I hope she got like a iPhone or something. That thing's way more simpler to handle.
Technology, it's funny seeing some older people using it.
Yeah, there's some people that just like they can't grasp it, but then there's other older people that like they can use it better than I can.
Yeah.
Like I can't use a computer. Are you kidding me? I can go on Google and play some Vidadio games, you know what I mean? But I can't really do anything else.
Yeah, I've seen some of them get lost. They get sucked down that YouTube wormhole. You ever gone down that one? You ever go down like it's like Alice in Wonderland, man.
Oh, like
You
the
get sucked
weird
down. Yeah,
side
you
of
get into the
YouTube?
weeds of YouTube, like on recommended videos.
Dude,
You like come to spend 4 hours later. You're like, what? You like have to take a shower. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what
though,
you're
don't you?
talking about. I know what you're talking about. I've been to some weird parts of YouTube, dude. I've been to some weird parts of the internet. I've seen some things nobody else probably has in this room. Like, after this is done, I'll show you, like, the worst picture I've ever seen in my life. And you'll probably agree.
No, I know. There's I don't know how all this stuff just gets created out there. Like people are like when you sit and think, like people are actually spending time to make some of these things.
Oh, if you watch like a dank meme compilation on YouTube, which I do very frequently, it's like people spend so much time to make this stupid video of just like, oh, what do you call it? Like when the sound is like really distorted. I forget, but like really distorted, like music playing, having all these effects going. It's like, like I'm happy you're making it. It's making me laugh, but you need a life, dude. I feel bad.
Yeah. Some of those memes and stuff just get off the deep end fast.
Oh, dude, I love it so bad. Like TikTok has really taken off, and I love it.
Yeah, what is
so
that?
much.
I always see ads for it.
So you know what Musical.ly was?
Yeah, it was like, well, do you record like a clip of yourself singing or something? Or
Yeah, you could select a song on your phone, and like you could, I never used it, but you could like lip sync to it, and that's how like Jacob Sartorius got famous. If you know who he is.
I've heard the name, but I've never seen him.
The kid got so rich off of Musical.ly, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
But so Musical.ly was bought out by like some like Chinese company, and they it was now it's TikTok, and so you can just like it's kind of like Vine. You make like a short video. But what you can do is do a duet with somebody. So say you make a video and I see it on your profile, I can make my own separate video next to yours and people can see that, and I can either compliment it or just be a douche and just like ruin the whole thing. Oh, dude, it's hilarious because like it doesn't stop.
And is everybody's public? It's public to everyone.
Yeah. But like people, there can be like 7 duets, and like it just like gets smaller and smaller, and you can't like really see like the original video all the way over here. It's pretty interesting. I think it's funny. People have some like clever stuff.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to take a quick break, and we'll come back. All right, we're back. Rolling. Yeah, rolling. So that was a nice little break. Get your mind right, ready for round 2.
Oh, I'm always ready. Even if I'm not, I'll, oh, what's that word? Oh, I forget. It's one of the most simple words.
like
I can't
the
think
most-
about it. Improvise.
If you're saying you're always ready, I'm always ready to improvise, then you forget it.
Yeah, then
That's not a good example of your ability there.
I don't know. It's a little. I have a little stress on me. Okay, I'm not used to being in front of a camera.
Oh, the bright lights and everything.
I know, it's so disorienting.
Yeah. You're doing pretty well, though.
Yeah.
Natural.
Like, I've surprised... Oh, wait, with the camera, you talking about, like, life. All right.
Well, life, too. Tell us how you're doing good in life.
I mean, like, I got further than what I expected. Like, for as soon as it happened, like, I even asked my, like, grandparents and my mom and my dad's, like, hey, did you expect me to be, like, this... like steady in life at this point? They're like, oh hell no. Oh no, we thought like you'd still be living at home like for like another 5 years.
Why is that? Why do they think that?
Come on, we went to school together.
Well, I know, but give us a little detail. Give us the inside.
Oh dude, my grades were horrible. I didn't want to do homework. Like I just wasn't a school type of person. I got in trouble a lot and that doesn't really look good. I don't know. I'm a pretty lazy person, and I think that contributed to like them thinking like I'm not gonna get like that far in life.
But you're working steady on a job.
Yeah. I do anything to make the bread, make the cheddar.
Yeah.
But when I get home, I don't want to do anything.
So you have to be incentivized.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of rag on some people that like they'll only do something if there's a prize for them, but then I do it myself. I mean, we're all hypocrites. Nobody's perfect, you know? No, excuse me.
Yeah, the pop or the kombucha's getting to you.
Yeah, I think it's this knockoff Mr. Pibb.
I think Mr. Pibb's actually the knockoff Dr. Pepper.
Nah, dude. Mr. Pibb's better.
I searched for that and I could not find it.
I
gotta tell you, that's... Usually when I ask for requests, you know... It's pretty simple. And then I saw Mr. Pibb and I was like, where am I going to find them around here? I've only seen them on like on fountains at some restaurants.
Oh yeah. I think it's a Coca-Cola product. It's the Coca-Cola version of Dr. Pepper. I think this is owned by Pepsi. I don't know. I forget.
No, that's their own. They're their own thing. Dr. Pepper,
really?
7-Up.
Dr. Pepper Keurig.
Dr. Pepper Keurig 7-Up. Yeah.
Oh. All right, learn something.
Yeah, it's actually separate. I know. Yeah, it seems like Pepsi or Coke owns about everything else, but...
Yeah. Are you a Pepsi or Coke fan?
I don't drink pop, really.
Oh, I'm starting to get away from it, too.
I mean, most Pepsi products I would prefer over Coke, but I think I actually like Coke better than Pepsi.
I can't drink Coke that much. Like once I drink like more than a can, like I get chest pains. I feel like I'm gonna die.
So I used to love Dr. Pepper. I can't do it anymore.
Oh, dude, I love Dr. Pepper so much. Like it lost its flavor. It tasted like water, and that was kind of scary.
Yeah. This is about the strongest stuff I drink anymore.
Yeah,
most sugary, most carbonated.
This is carbonated?
Yeah, naturally.
What?
Yep. So what it is it's like tea. Basically, it's black tea. There's some sugar in it. This has kiwi juice, but not all of them have it.
It looks like someone hacked a loogie in mine.
Well, I'll tell you what that is. That's the SCOBY.
I'm gonna turn it around so I don't like have that go down my gullet.
No, you gotta keep it on your tongue, like just like It's good. Don't knock it till you try it. So that's a SCOBY. It's a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. And so those, you put them in there, they eat the sugar, produce carbonation. It's a fermentation process. So this is like fermented tea.
All right.
This is of the ginger variety. They're all kind of different.
I don't really drink weird beverages like that. I stick to my Mr. Pibb.
I guess so. But anytime you need a weird beverage, this is a good brand, GT's. I'll give them an endorsement right here.
If we're going to talk about endorsements, I want to make a shout out to my boy PTW_vintage on Instagram, my boy Max. If you like vintage clothing, look him up. Link to his eBay page. He's got some cool stuff.
What's he sell?
Vintage clothing. He goes to like Salvation Army and garage sales and looks for like old like Tommy Hilfiger stuff that someone's selling for like 50 cents and it'll turn around and sell for like 10.
Well, you just gave away a secret. Now people are going to buy it. They know it's that marked up. Salvation Army will be getting raided tomorrow. There'll be no clothes left.
I mean, that's just how the market is with like vintage and like secondhand like clothing like that. That someone would want for like the name brand. Like,
right? Does he do anything with them? Clean them up or add anything to them or just?
I think he washes them just so they don't smell like a basement.
They smell like when it floods and throw out our clothes.
Ooh. I have this burp just wanting to come up,
Just
but
let
it
it
ain't
out.
moving. Nah, it ain't moving. It's stuck there. But, oh,
It is.
man, I don't
That
want
was
to do it.
beautiful.
Oh, it's gross.
That-
You might want to cut that out. Ew.
It's like he about vomited, but he pulled it back.
Oh, dude, I'd feel so bad if I baby puked on this glass table.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You're out. No, I'm just kidding. So we were talking a little bit about some of your other interests besides satirical YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah, I like history and military history of Germany and World War II. That was kind of my specialty. Like in middle school, starting like 6th grade. No, I started in 4th grade to like 8th grade. I just read like World War II books, and like that's it. And then in 8th grade, Mrs. Irwin got annoyed with me. And she was like, Tanner, I'm sick of you reading these World War II books. You really need to read something different. Like, I'm not going to let you read another World War II book.
Why?
I don't know. She was mean. Hope she doesn't see
I like
that.
World War II books.
Oh, dude.
There's so many of them.
Go to the Liberty Bend library and, like, pick one out. I've probably read it.
I snagged a good one from our school library. It was it was called Warning to the West, The Road to Nihilism. And what it was written in, I think, 38. And it's not in publication anymore. And it was a guy that, he was originally a member of the Nazi party, and he, like, left in 36 and left Germany. But it was, like, his whole warning. Like, he was saying, this is what they're going to do. This is how they're doing it. Like, this is their mindset and how they're taking over. And it was, like, the warning.
And what was
It's a
his
good
name?
book.
I might have heard of him.
I don't know if I can pull. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Name of it?
Warning to the West, The Road to Nihilism.
Oh, excuse me. It finally came up.
The Revolution of Nihilism?
Yeah.
So I was corrected. It's The Revolution of Nihilism by Hermann Rauschning. But it's, I mean, I didn't finish it yet. But what I've read was really good. It really explained kind of the ethos that they were having and how they kind of took over.
Yeah. Pretty interesting time.
It really is. I mean, I don't know. It kind of demonstrates how that was not even 100 years ago. And how easily a whole society.
They took over in 33.
Yep.
So 5. I'm really bad with math. So I think like
85.
85 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, politics in Europe at that time frame was just really weird. This is like in any country. Like a lot of countries had like paramilitary groups that would like march in the streets, and like if that tried to happen in America, like people would like lose their bananas.
Well, I think what happened is World War I just broke everybody.
Oh yeah, it broke a lot of things.
If you look at the writing and the art that came out of post World War I, like France especially, it was just crazy. You could just tell it was like they were completely broken by what they'd saw, and they just wanted to tear down everything. Like that's the ideas of anarchism and even a little bit communism, socialism, everything kind of came out of that. They were saying, well, you know, we were so accustomed to this way of life, and obviously it's not the only way, or it's not the only thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of places were in, I mean, they were just devastated. Their economies were.
Oh yeah, especially Germany. With the Treaty of Versailles, like, oh my God, like they couldn't like be a country anymore. Honestly,
the hyperinflation. Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me a Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, the hyperinflation was insane.
Yeah, I think it was
They
like
had wheelbarrows of them.
I think at one point, it was like 4 billion German marks to buy a loaf of bread. It was like,
Yeah,
that's awful.
that's about where Venezuela's at right now.
Oh yeah, oh my God, Venezuela is such a horrible place right now. I hope I don't offend anybody there, but
No, I think they'd agree with you.
yeah. There's a lot of problems. Like I don't want to get too far into politics. I don't want to be a rabble rouser or anything. But man, that is a bad picture of how they conducted their socialism.
Yeah,
And gun control.
You know, I don't know that we've ever seen a great demonstration of socialism, though.
I don't believe straight socialism will work, but I believe a capitalist society with socialist policies here and there can work to benefit the people.
We see that in some Eastern European countries. I forget if it's Denmark or Sweden.
That's not Eastern European. That's I don't know if
I guess
Denmark
not really.
is Western European or Scandinavian, but it's right above Germany.
Yeah. Well, you do see it working a little bit in some of those countries, but I think it's because the population is so
It's so
small,
much smaller,
and they were already fairly wealthy to begin with, and it was already distributed. It wasn't quite as broad of a distribution.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it would be cool to have a little bit more of some socialist policies in America to kind of even out the wage gap or the wealth gap. You know, because like it is kind of ridiculous how there's so much poverty and so many like rundown neighborhoods. You know, maybe if we had some policies in place where they could have better opportunities, that'd be cool. Or they'd have more services to help them. See,
I still have more faith in capitalism for that, though. I just think it's very inefficient having it funnel through the government usually.
Yeah, I don't trust the government, honestly.
I just think it's better. I think capitalism works better because everybody doing well kind of raises everybody else. Instead of just like taking it and moving it around.
It can, but in some other cases, it can. It depends. I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I mean,
really, if a business is doing well, it's creating jobs.
Yeah,
it's making money, and they should increase their wages at a certain point.
Yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. Because if a business is too small, they can't afford to pay all their workers like more money because they only have a limited income if it's a certain size. But when you get to like a mega corporation like Walmart, Microsoft, Apple, like they can, but like Walmart don't really pay their average workers that much. It's like $12 is like the minimum, which is okay, but
$12 starting out though it's decent. I mean,
if you're single,
you couldn't raise a family off of it for sure.
No. Like, I'm making almost $16 an hour, and it's still a little rough trying to survive.
Yeah, but I think it provides some motivation for people to move forward in their job, to get a promotion or to move on, to acquire different skills and move on to a higher paying job.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of sad to see, like, older people stuck in, like, fast food or, like, just food in general, like, serving.
Yeah.
It's like, only if you get a better job.
Yeah, and that's difficult because, you're working so many hours and it's difficult to go, like, to get schooling on the side.
Yeah. Like, one thing I hate seeing on the internet is when people are like, oh, if you don't like making X amount of money, go to school and get a better job. It's like, well, you need money to go to school, and you also need time.
And you're not necessarily guaranteed a job either.
Yeah, like my brother just graduated college, and he couldn't find a job in his field for the life of him. He's still, I don't know if he's looking, but right now, like it's hard. And like all the places he was applying, it's like, oh, you need 3 years of experience. It's like,
yeah,
well, I need experience. We'll go get experience. Can't find any.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely have seen quite a bit of that, even like applying for internships and engineering roles, but I don't know. I still have faith in capitalism.
Yeah, I trust capitalism just a little bit more than socialism. Socialism, look at Venezuela. Look at extreme socialism like communism.
Yeah.
I hate communism.
That's what I always thought was interesting, is that they were both viewed as like opposite sides of the spectrum. But they actually seem kind of similar.
I mean, it is. I think it's just
like Nazi Germany was considered far right.
Politically and morally, they were far right, but
their economy was pretty.
It was more socialist. Yeah. And it is.
Well, that's what it kind of seemed like. They used that to get into power?
Well, the socialist aspect of like how Nazi Germany conducted itself is they had like a lot of benefits for their workers. Like when the Nazis took over, people got a lot of vacation time. The economy went up because they did stuff for like working and jobs, stuff like that. They really tried to industrialize the nation even more. Like, you know how America had the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps?
Yeah.
They had their
Was that
own.
one of the Roosevelt FDR programs?
Yeah. They had their own. It was the RAD, and they had people doing like the Autobahn. They made a lot of the Autobahn through the RAD. And they had so many work projects going on. They actually imported workers from other countries too, like Sweden and Poland and stuff like that. They would outsource to get all these projects done.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they had a lot of production through those years.
Oh,
Seemed like a lot, like the industry worked pretty well, and they kind of got their economy turned around.
Oh yeah. Like looking at like how the Weimar Republic was after the Treaty of Versailles, $4 billion for a loaf of bread, and then like, it's a productive country again. It's, I would say, almost a superpower.
Yeah, you almost wonder why they didn't stop at just kind of annexing the stuff that they'd lost in the Treaty of Versailles, but
oh man, get into that. There's a lot of stuff you can talk about there, like, taking Czechoslovakia. Yeah, whatever, that's okay. Whatever. Austria wanted to be annexed. There's a lot of people.
Have you
like, that's
gotten
right.
into any of the Czech stuff, like the Czech resistance and I forget what his name? They called him the Butcher of Prague. What was his name?
I don't know much about the resistance, but I do know, like, right after the war ended, like, how the Czechs treated, like, ethnic Germans living in the area. It was awful. Like, people say the Nazis were bad, but everybody else that did, like, reprisal killings, like, they're just as guilty. As guilty.
But they slaughtered, I think it was 50,000 at least. I mean, they burned a whole... Because one of the generals there, they assassinated him. And then they were just, like, retributions. They razed, like, 2 villages completely to the ground.
Oh, the Germans did?
Shot men, women, and children.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, the Russians, they've done a lot of worse things, taking back land and coming through Eastern Europe, like, to Germany.
Are you talking about the Russians?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they probably killed more than the Nazis. Like, innocent lives as
Innocent lives, yes, and they committed far more rapes. Like... It was like 1.9 or 2 million German women alone raped when the Russians got to the German borders and inside Germany, but I forget all the numbers for the other Eastern European nations that they liberated. But
yeah, it's crazy how if you win, your war crimes just kind of disappear.
Yeah, like even America, we ain't innocent of war crimes.
Well, even they were talking about Cheney and Bush possibly responsible for war crimes.
Yeah, we did a lot of shady stuff in the Middle East.
We gotta cut real quick. All right, we're rolling. All right, so you said you want to talk a little bit about high school.
Oh, yeah,
dude. On the Liberty Benton days.
Dude, I miss Liberty Benton. Because I left middle of sophomore year because I moved out of the school district, and they didn't accept my open enrollment because I got suspended 2 times that year. So, yeah. But, like... I was at Liberty Benton in kindergarten when you guys would have been in preschool.
Okay.
So I should have graduated 2016, but I was held back. I was a pretty stupid kid, so it doesn't really surprise me. Like, I didn't learn how to tie my shoes till 6th grade, if that says anything.
Really?
2 weeks before Camp Store, I learned how to tie my shoes.
That was probably an important time to learn.
Yeah.
Gotta be home or away from home.
Yeah. Man, Camp Store was fun. Do you remember that too much?
I do remember that. Do you know whose cabin you were in?
I was, Nick Berner's dad was our leader.
Okay, I think I might have been in that. No, I was not. I heard there were some pranks that happened in that room, though.
I remember one morning we painted our faces with, like, camouflage, because I think Cody Bacherick brought, camo, like, face paint, and we were, like, knocking on people's windows and stuff.
Imagine Cody doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, high school, it's only been 2 years, but it seems like it's been a while.
I mean, it's
But
been
at the same
4
time,
years for me.
4 years for you, yeah.
Man, like, I remember it was, you guys would have been, like, oh, what's that word? Juniors. You guys were juniors. It was, like, February, and I'm, like, sitting in my room on YouTube, and I looked up the Christmas concert that the choir did sophomore year, and it was right before I left. I'm, like, listening to, like, the songs, and I enjoyed choir. I loved it. I thought it was fun. And it's like, man, I miss Liberty Benton. Like, I went to school with these people, like, my entire life. Like, I know a lot of them didn't like me, but me being gone for so long, I miss them. I don't care who you are. Yeah. Like, if you hate me now and you're watching this, I miss you. There's only one person that we went to school with in our grade that I do not like. Oh. I'm not going to say their name, but he annoyed the piss out of me. Like, everybody else, like, even if they were mean, like, you know what, I forgive you. Yeah. I probably deserved it. I was a weird kid, dude. I was such a weird kid. And I apologize if I ever wronged you. I remember, I think it was 3rd grade or 2nd grade. I was on the bus, and it was me and Adam Winsinger in this seat, and then it was Megan Bartell and Brooke Poplinski in the next seat. And Brooke was doing her homework. And I don't know why. I was just being a little douche. Crumpled up her homework. I don't know why I did it. You know what, Brooke, if you see this, I'm so sorry for that. Oh my god.
Yeah. I think everybody did stuff they kind of regretted over the years.
There's so much stuff I regret. I regret most of the things I did in elementary school because I was branded as, like, the weird kid. I didn't have many friends until 6th grade.
Were you?
Yeah, dude. What, you don't remember that? I was that kid in our grade. I mean, come on. You know, if you think I was that kid in the grade, comment down below. It's like, yeah, Tanner, like, we didn't miss you, we didn't like you. You were annoying. Won't hurt my feelings, trust me.
I don't remember that. I don't know. I remember I used to hang out with you some when I was, like, younger, like in elementary, but...
No, not really. Really? In elementary school... I didn't really have, like...
we were at a couple birthday parties and, like...
I didn't go to many birthday parties. Yo, dude, I remember elementary school pretty vividly. I think the first time I talked to you in elementary school, or one of the first times, it was lunch, and I packed. And Cody Bacherick, and it was in, like, a brown paper bag, and Cody Bacherick, like, made a joke about it being, like, a brown paper bag, and you're like, hey, maybe he doesn't have that much money, he can't help it, don't be mean to him. What? It was, like, 2nd or 1st grade, and I was like, you know what, Clay, you're a cool kid. I went and sat down. That's a really obscure memory.
You do have a pretty vivid memory.
Yeah.
I can't remember much from back in 1st grade, but...
Oh, dude, I remember a lot.
Who was your teacher in 1st grade?
Mrs. Mersch. Okay. Yeah, Mrs. Mersch.
Yeah, I think I had green, so...
Oh, I don't even know who that is. Man, it's kind of weird to think, like, in elementary school, if, like, you didn't have that teacher, you didn't really know them. Or, like, you didn't really know the people in that class unless you talked to them at recess or lunch, but... Yeah, there's a lot of people I didn't meet till, like, 4th grade.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people, like, the classes were similar each year.
Yeah,
like, same people in the classes.
I always seemed to have, like, Megan Bartell in my class. Like, every year, like, consistently. She was always in my class.
Yeah.
No.
Elementary school. What'd you do on the playground?
I played by myself because nobody liked me.
What?
No, I didn't have many friends.
Where'd you hang out at? What area?
I was just running around doing my own thing, like playing Star Wars by myself.
Okay.
Dude, like Star Wars was my childhood. I got
into Star Wars for a while too, yeah.
Like, I remember in art, I would draw the same picture of like a Star Wars space battle, and I remember it got to the point where Gabby Lyon was like, Tanner, why don't you draw something different? I was like, because I don't want to. I was like, whatever. I also made Gabby Lyon cry one time because I sang Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill, but it was like a really morbid version about like being eaten by snakes. She cried, and I got a Saturday school for it. I don't know if she remembers that, but I do.
It's crazy how many stupid things people got in trouble for.
Oh, dude, like, I remember in 5th grade, lunch was over, going up to the line, you know, we're about to leave, and I was talking to Gabe Troutman, and Matt Dunn comes up, kicks me right in the nuts for no reason. And you know what happened? I got a freaking Saturday school for it. For me being kicked in the nuts.
Really? Why?
Because Matt said, oh, Tanner was bullying my friend Gabe. I was like, you're a liar. And now my nuts hurt.
Was that during the tag wars?
No, that was sixth grade.
Oh, that was sixth grade.
That was sixth grade. I remember that.
Yeah.
Then the girls started doing it too.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh my god.
It was like the main group that had originally started it were already done, and then it got like weird. There were like girls hitting each other.
I remember it was.
We all got called down to the band room for a little talking to.
I remember that. Oh man. Man. I remember because I had this locker and Kyle Markins had the locker next to me, and he tried to punch me in the nuts, but he got me in the leg, and I came up behind him. I just like went straight up, like bam. Knocked the wind right out of him.
I know, you'd like turn around in the hall, there'd be like somebody like slumped up against the wall, like
yeah. Talking about hitting in the nuts, I went to Van Loo for a short period of time in 8th grade because the school didn't treat me that well, and I transferred to Van Loo for a little bit for the remainder of the year. And I remember being in the lunch line, this one kid got tapped in the nuts, but it was like a little light tap, like, yeah, you don't need to cry about it. He's like, oh, being a little baby. And I looked at it, I was like, dude, come on. I punched myself in the nuts pretty hard, and like I just like stood there and stared at him. And I was known as like the weird kid that punched himself in the nuts.
Yeah, that probably would get some weird looks.
Yeah.
Did you teach him a lesson though? Was he?
No, but everybody would come like, hey man, punch yourself in the nuts again. It's like, no, I don't want to.
Can't
Not
get
anymore.
that label.
Yeah, I had a lot of weird labels, dude. I still carry some weird labels.
Well, that's good. We're getting them out.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I love talking about like old experiences at school. I love it.
I agree. I feel like my memory is not what it was. So many things have happened. Like, isn't that weird that you probably don't even remember like 20% of the things that have happened to you?
Oh yeah.
You can't remember most days of your life.
Man, that's kind of sad. I wish I could remember like most of my life because I just like replay good memories.
Do you think you could ever do you think it's all there somewhere, but you just can't access it?
You know what? There's,
or do you think it actually is just gone?
There's like a theory of like when you die, your life flashes before your eyes and whatever. Like you relive everything, in like 10 seconds or whatever it was. Like, maybe that happens. Maybe we relive our lives, and then at the end of that, it relapses again because you're reliving your life because that's a memory within the past memory of you dying. No, and it's just an infinite loop of
you'd be
living.
Stuck in the loop forever.
Dude, I wouldn't mind that. I'm kind of scared of death sometimes, but sometimes I'm not.
Why?
Well, I don't believe in religion. I don't necessarily believe in like any defined God. Like I'm a little agnostic. I believe there's a higher power. Like I'm not an atheist because I've seen ghosts. Ghosts are real. I've seen them.
All right, go ahead. Go on that tangent real quick.
Oh my god. All right. So I gotta think about it. One of the first ghost experience I had, it was at my uncle's house. It was Thanksgiving, and I was always told, like, there was an old woman that lived in the house, and she passed away there, and like her spirit's there, and like my uncle saw it, my aunts have seen it. It's actually, I think, Nick Berner's great aunt, because that was their family's property that my uncle was renting from. Okay. That's what I think it was. Maybe, I don't know, but and I remember getting my plate of food, going out to the living room, and my aunt's like, "Oh, Tana boy, sit next to me on the couch." It's like, "Oh, there's a woman already sitting there." She's like, "What?" It's like, "There's a woman with the white hair." It's like, "What?" She got up, ran away. It's like, "Oh." She went to the kitchen. It was like, I saw a woman sitting there next to my aunt, so I didn't want to be rude and sit on her. And that's just not like a figment of my imagination. Like some people think like, "Oh, the kid's like making it up," but I didn't have an active imagination like that, like where I fabricated like memories. Like there was a woman sitting on that couch plain as day. It's some people might believe me, some people might not. Whatever.
So why are you afraid of death? Why are you agnostic?
Oh, dude, this is
Those are kind of maybe two different questions, but a little
well,
bit related.
if like afraid of death, like this is gonna be a hard hitting conversation. Like this is probably gonna be like the most tense, like emotionally charged conversation. Like I've never talked about this like on camera, like but I talk about it in person. But it's kind of weird just put out there. But as I imagine anybody watching the podcast knows who I am, and I accidentally killed my best friend when I was 17 back in 2017. I'm not a religious person. I don't believe that there's definitely a heaven or there's a hell. I don't know if there's an afterlife. And it's just the uncertainty of, like, where did I send my best friend? I don't know. And that haunts me sometimes. There's a lot of things that haunt me about that whole situation. But, like, is he in a paradise? Is he not? Is there an afterlife? I surely hope so. But if there's not, like... Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Man, there's just a lot of uncertainty that like weighs down on me.
Yeah. No, I can only imagine. I mean, I think that's a question that really weighs on all of us, and then for you, it's probably even a little added to it.
Yeah, well, a little bit. There's some straw on my back, really pushing down.
Yeah.
It's whew.
So why do you have these? Or, I mean, I guess we all kind of question it.
Like even like the most devout people, I think they've come to a point in their life where they kind of question a little bit. It's like, is it really true? Whether they want to admit it or not, you know, there's always going to be doubt in our minds for every possible scenario, situation that we're ever going to encounter. But sometimes I'm okay with death. Sometimes I'm not. It's really like when it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, it just like hits me. It's like, man, sooner or later I'm gonna be like really old and on my deathbed, and then everything's just gonna disappear. I'm not gonna have my car. I'm not gonna have my house or my loved ones. Everything's just gonna be gone. What happens after that? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it even calls into question what the point of living is for. If you don't know what the point of dying is for.
I've pondered that a lot. Like, because people that are religious is like, you know, like, oh, we live our life to worship God because he is our creator. But someone like me, I try to rationalize it as you're given life and be a fair, good person and try to do good. Because that's how I live my life. Like, if I can do something that's simple and good, I'll do it. Like, I've given money to homeless people before. Like, anytime I'm at, like, McDonald's or, like, Hot Topic, and they're like, oh, would you like to round up to the nearest dollar and donate it to whatever charity? It's like, of course. It's like 50 cents. I'm not going to use that 50 cents. I think it's ridiculous how people, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to... Come on, Kathy. You really need that 29 cents. Like, come on. Give it to the Art Institute. Jesus.
That's fair.
I mean, like, I like to think that, like, I'm a cool, like, laid-back, nice person. I don't like to hurt anybody's feelings, but sometimes I can be a prick. I'm not gonna lie. I have, like, my own, like, man period every month. Like 1 week, like, I'm just kind of a little bit meaner than usual.
Yeah, I think that's something everyone deals with.
Do you have a man period?
Yeah, no. I wasn't specifically talking about the man period. I just meant, I don't know, when you take the time to sit back and reflect on the life you live.
Yeah.
And if you're, how you want to live it, why you want to live it. Because, you know, I mean, you can sit and work through so many things, and at some point you might come up with kind of a nihilistic viewpoint. You might come to the conclusion that, well, it's pretty inconsequential what I do. But I don't think you have I don't think you can just cop out with that outset, or with that mindset, you know?
Yeah.
I think you got to kind of pull it together and try to make something of your life.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to live the most positive life I can. Like, personally, like, I'm not like everybody else in college, like, drinking and smoking. Like, I have better things to do with my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm focusing on making, like, a solid foundation so I can have like absolute success or something close to absolute success. And also I'm on probation, so like I can't
do that anyway.
Like whatever. But you know what? Like being on probation really set me like on a straight path. Like, well, can't go out and drink with my friends underage. I guess I'll get a job and earn money.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then it's like, oh man, can't go out and drink and smoke the marijuanas with my friend. Might as well do some more responsible stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's a big thing in everybody. I mean, in the transition from kind of childhood or adolescence to adulthood is taking responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
And finding a purpose that can keep you driven somewhat and that keep you productive.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it seems like you have to keep doing something. You have to kind of keep moving forward, or else you can really get hit. Like, I know if I take like a week off or something, I'm just kind of sitting around a little bit, just not going at it or not moving forward, it'll really hit me, some of those things.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I lost my job back in May, and I was unemployed for like 2.5 months, and I was getting to the point like, I don't want to get another job. This is stupid. Life's stupid. It's unfair. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. Man, screw it. But I got my stuff together, went out, and became a productive member of society again.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really what you kind of got to do. I don't know. Life's got a lot of questions, but that's probably a good thing. Otherwise, it'd be kind of boring.
Well, what do you ponder in life most? Like, what's the number one question that you come back thinking, like, just keep questioning it because you can't find an answer?
I mean, personally, just what I want to do with my life, like what my purpose is.
I think the same thing. I'm not going to college. I don't really have all these ideas of like what I really want to do. I'm just kind of coasting through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always kind of come back to that because it seems like there's just so much sometimes that I want to do, and I'm sitting and thinking of that, and then it's like, how do you actually put that into action and move forward with it? Or even, is this the best thing I can do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than that, just like physics questions, you know.
Physics
biology
questions.
Yeah, like stuff way out on the fringes
man.
Just warp my mind.
I don't bother to do anything with science. No, I hate science.
You know, I never used to like math. Well, I mean, I always did all right in math, but I've started to enjoy it now that I have to sit down with it all the time.
Actually, in first grade, I was considered the math whiz in my class because I liked that simple subtraction and addition so much. I got that stuff down. I was pretty fast. And then when it got to like more complex math, it was like,
yeah,
bring on the history.
All right, we got to wrap this real quick. Thanks for coming out, man.
Oh, anytime.
I love these conversations because it's not, you know, I kind of do this. I mean, it's fun to put it out and for everybody to see, but also I don't really get that much time to sit one-on-one and talk to people, so
I love
hearing what everyone has to say.
I don't have much of a social life. I'm always down to do stuff like this, dude.
All right. Well,
yo, if this is some good feedback, have me on again. I'll be like Post Malone on the H3 podcast, dude.
Maybe round 2. All right, we'll wrap it up.